Hello everyone, good evening. So we'll wait for a minute. So let's join, others also join, we'll discuss. Please just confirm me, did I share yesterday's video to everyone?
Yeah, we received.
Okay, thanks Murali. Okay. Okay, this is our vCenter server, right? This is our vCenter server. Okay, I'm launching. So we know how to install everything. Even in fact, I shared this document with you yesterday. Okay, our vCenter IP, username, password, and our server details, 4 server details, and VMs what we created, and the IPs of VMs, and vCenter IP, and some just small notes for cloning, template, and migration. So I have shared, and this is one of the issue I discussed yesterday. So if you do a migration from if you do a migration from Intel servers to AMD servers, okay, it will fail. Okay, it failed yesterday. Okay, but there is an option called enhanced vMotion, but we will discuss this. Okay, so let me log in. So just let me go through all the topics. Okay, all three, right? Cloning, template, and migration. We will do like one practical. So just whoever is not there, so you will understand. Okay, just I am logging in. So we have total 4 servers, 4 ESXi servers. All 4 servers I added to vCenter server. Okay, this is my vCenter IP, and you can see all 4 servers here. Okay, so my server IPs are 100.2, 100.4, 6, and 8. So you are seeing 4 servers, all 4 servers are here. Okay, now if you see, so server 1 has 2 VMs. Actually leave this vCenter server. This is where actually all our I'm seeing Krishna. Who is this? Krishna? Okay. Okay. So total 4 servers are there. In my server 1, I have 3 VMs. In my server 2, I have 1 VM. Server 3, there are no VMs. And server 4, I have 1 VM. Right? So you understand how to install vCenter. And once the vCenter is created, we have created one data center. So this is a test is my data center. So I told you, so usually in the real time, right, when we have some thousands of servers, hundreds of servers, they segregate. Like suppose if I have some 100 servers, maybe I'll say team 1, some 10 servers, team 2, 10 servers. Like that, we can segregate under data center. Okay, now I have test. Okay, if you want, I can create one more data center. Okay, suppose if I create test 2, okay, I can add a few more servers here. Okay, few more servers under test 2, right? So I'm deleting. I don't want this. So just for understanding purpose, I created. Okay, so in this test, I added 4 ESXi servers. In all 4 servers, I have ESXi 7.0 so and so version. This is my exact OS in all 4 servers. Okay. So here I have 3 servers. I have 1 server, so no servers, and 1 server. So simple, we will do 1 cloning, we will do 1 template, and we will do 1 migration, and then we'll go to cluster concept. Okay, already we have seen, right? So that's why I'll do it little fast. Okay, so I'm going to do cloning. So I'm going to do this mission. Okay, server 1. I want this mission under 100.6 also. Okay, this is my virtual mission, which is a part of server 1. Same mission I want under server 3 also. Okay, very simple. Right click on the mission which one you want to clone. Right click, click on the clone, clone to virtual mission, clone to virtual mission, and just give the name. So this is server 3, right? We will give some valid name, server 3 underscore. Like there are no VMs, right? I'll give VM1 as it is the first VM, and I'll mention the OS also, Windows 2019, right? So I just give next. What happened? Same name exists in the location. Okay, server 3. Yeah, it is there actually in the second server, same name is there. Okay, yesterday I think we migrated. So I'll do one thing, I'll give server 2. Okay, same name is there in under second server. So yesterday we did the migration, right? I think we migrated from server 3 to server 2. Okay, click next. So 100.6. It is telling it will take long time, but okay, we will give it, no issue. Click next. Data store. Yes, compatibility check succeeded. Click next. Don't do any modification. Do it as it is. Click next. Finish. Okay. So now the cloning is started. So if you observe, so this mission is cloning to the server 3. From server 1 to server 3, the mission is getting cloned. Okay. But the name is changed. Okay. In the vCenter, no VM. I mean, there should not be a name conflict. Okay. So the name should be unique in the vCenter. Suppose if I have 100 missions also, so for every mission, we create VMs and no VM should have same name. So that's why whenever we do the cloning, immediately it is telling, give the name. So I given one name. So just because of this, right, I given server 3 VM2. Okay, I given this name. So now the cloning is happening, but it said that it will take some long time in this mission. This mission has a problem. Usually it won't take this much time. So here the exact mission, whatever is there here, right? Exact mission will get create under server 3. Point number 1. And then we have to power on and we have to change the IP address of the mission and host name of the mission. These two is mandatory because in the network, IPs should not be repeat and host name also should be unique. IP should be unique and host name should be unique. So when you clone it, this mission has one IP, one host name. When you clone it, so this mission also gets same IP and the same host name. So that once it is created, power on, change host name and IP address, then your cloning is successful. Then your cloning is done. Simple. Okay, we know this. We are doing right. We are doing for last 3 days. So let it go on. By the time we'll go to template. So already we have some template. I'll do one thing. I'll go and delete it. Okay, I don't want this. Right click, delete from disk. So we'll create one template. Okay. Now you understand, like cloning is now I have one VM. Okay. Now I have one good VM. So I want same VM. So then I choose cloning to create a same VM. As I mentioned in the yesterday's examples, right? So today it is June 28th. Okay. So now all 4 missions has the same virtual mission. So suppose there are 4 people who are using all 4 missions. They started using June 28th, and we are copying so much of data we are using for many things. So kind of, we are using the server, we are saving some data. So by the time December time, right, in this 6 months, we keep lot of data in that, and we install many applications in that, right? So what will happen when I install so much of data in December time, I want same mission, one more mission again. I want one more mission. Okay, I want to do same mission again. So what we'll do? We can't do cloning, right? Because the missions are kind of disturbed now. So there is so much of data. Everybody using that missions. Okay, so much of data. Many applications are there which we don't want. Okay, so in that case, the cloning is not possible. Okay, so for that purpose, right, what we have to do? We have to create one template today itself. Now it is June 28th. We created some good virtual machine. What we'll do, we'll create one template, or the VM, whatever is created, right, that we convert as a template. And from that template, we can create n number of virtual machines whenever we want. Okay, let me do that. So guys, following it, I hope following this, all repeating, I'm repeating. Okay, important topics for interview purpose, very important, and even real time also we use it. So just, okay, go through. So this is my server one. Here I have a VM. So what I'll do, right click. Now I know this is a very good VM and we need in future also. Okay, so right now immediately I go to the template. Sorry, this is not forward on, right? I think it is cloning. Right click, go to template, convert to template. Okay, so you know what? The cloning is happening from this machine. If you convert as a template, the cloning will stop. Okay, the cloning has to complete, then only we can create a template. Okay, so we'll do one thing, we'll create template on 4th server. So so here I have single virtual machine, so no templates are there. So what I'll do, I'll power off this machine, right click, or either we can right click power off, or this is the best option always, shut down guest OS. Okay, always this is the better option to shut down power off virtual machine. Okay, so just click on this. Yes. Okay, the machine is powered off. Okay, the machine is powered off. Okay, always template we have to take it on the powered off virtual machine, because we will convert it as a template. Okay, now right click on this, you go to template. See, there is an option called convert to template. So choose this, just click on convert to template. Okay, so convert virtual machine to a template. Yes. So it is happening. It will get, see, it's already deleted. It is not there under virtual machine, but it will be there under template. So I converted a virtual machine to template. Okay, from this template, I can create n number of virtual machines. And from this template, I can create virtual machine anytime. So now, as I mentioned in the previous example, if it go till December, suppose in December, if I want a VM, yeah, template is available, we will deploy some. And maybe next year, June, I want some 10 VMs, I can do it. Maybe after 2 years, I want same VMs, we can do it because the template is available. But this is not possible in the cloning. Okay, so how to create a VM? Like now we convert as a template, but there is no VM here, right? So we need a VM also. Okay, there are 4 people. So we are using this, right? We are using this VMs. So what I'll do, right click, new VM from this template, just click on this. So I'll give server 4 underscore VM1 underscore, okay, Windows 2019. What is my template name? Even template name and VM name also should not match. See, same name is there. I'll do one thing, I'll give VM2. Okay, just give next where I want 100.8. Just click next, next, sorry, select storage, click next, next, finish. Literally we are playing, right? So the VM is getting created. Now template is there, the VM also getting created. Okay, we'll see. So this cloning is happening very slow. Okay, no issue. This cloning is happening very slow. It's okay, leave it. Understand the concept. Okay, just a recap. Okay. Okay, so clone virtual machine, it is creating a virtual machine, but it will go little fast. Hardly it will take some maximum 5 minutes. Okay, even if it is a too bigger, if you have 2 TB hard disk and so many applications, it will take little more time. Based on based on the VM size, the based on the VM size, the time will take the time. It takes the time. Okay, so now our VM has a less size and no applications installed. Okay, nothing, just the OS, right? It has a just OS and basic configuration. So it will complete hardly in 3-4 minutes. Okay, see, almost 93% done, 94, 100% done. Okay, now if I see this ESXi server, I have virtual machine, I have template. So from this template, I can create VMs anywhere in this vCenter, anywhere, anytime. Okay, so any number of VMs. Simple, right? We have seen this yesterday only. Just a recap. Okay, so third option, what we did. So migration. Migration means vMotion. I said vMotion, right? Migrate a virtual machine. Okay, from one ESXi server to another ESXi server. Suppose I have 2 ESXi servers in my team. I have 2 VMs under ESXi1 and 2 VMs under ESXi2, for example. So for a reason, okay, so I want to destroy ESXi1. So for some reason, the hardware is not good. There is some problem with hardware, that physical server. I want to destroy. Okay, for a reason, whatever reason, I don't want that server. Okay, so but I want that VMs. Okay, so in that case, we have an option called migration. So what we'll do, we will add both the ESXi servers under vCenter, both the ESXi servers under vCenter. So once they are added, we will go right click, migrate, and from here, ESXi1 is the source ESXi, and ESXi2, server 2 is the destination. That means from ESXi1, the VMs we will migrate to the ESXi2. Okay, source and destination. So we will migrate from source and destination. Okay, for that, what we have to do? Suppose in this case, okay, I want to migrate. For example, I want to migrate this server 2. Okay, so let's do like this. So it has something. We'll check the OS. Right click, go to run. So we will open and we will do some task. Okay. Anybody remember what IP I given? So 100.103. So I'll do one thing. I'll take a remote desktop for this. MSTSC 172.1700.103. Enter. Okay. I opened it. So I'll do one small task. Okay. Ping 172.1700.1-T. It will keep on pinging. So there is some task is happening in it. Okay. So now we will check later. So now I will migrate this machine to 100.4. I think we have sufficient resource. Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll delete this VM. Right click. power off, just to make sure I have a sufficient resource. Okay. Right click, delete from disk. Okay. So this is running, task is running. So now first two things, what we have to do. So I have total 4 servers from 100.2. So this Windows 2019 server 2 VM1 Windows 2019, I want to migrate to server 2. Okay. The very first step, you have to verify whether both are added to vCenter or not. So in this case, both are added to vCenter. So step 1 passed. Second step, so whether the vMotion option is enabled or not. How to check that? First, check the source server, click on configure, click on networking. Okay, go to VM kernel adapter and select the VMK0 port. And here you can see vMotion enabled. Actually, we did it yesterday. Suppose if it is disabled, go to edit. You have to check if it is checked, right? If it is unchecked, you have to check it. Okay, give OK. This is the second step. You have to do this step in both source and destination ESXi servers. Okay, this is my server 1. Coming here, same option, right click, edit. So enable. Okay, click OK. So this is the second step. Both source and destination servers, the VM kernel port group should enable the vMotion. The vMotion should be enabled in both source and destination servers, ESXi servers, VM kernel port group. So this is my second step. If these two are proper, and yesterday I told you, both the processors should be same. Okay, here in this case, both are Intel Xeon processors. So no need to worry. I'll do the migration. No, like now if I do migration, so it will move from server 1 to server 2. Okay, simple. Click migrate. Change both compute resource and storage. You understand what is compute resource and what is storage. Okay, now it will move from server 1 CPU, server 1 RAM, server 1 hard disk to, it will move to server 2 CPU, RAM, hard disk, NIC card, everything. Okay, so here that is the compute resource and storage meaning. Okay, change both compute resource and storage. Click next. So where it has to go? It has to go to 100.4, my second server. Compatibility check succeeded. Yes, very good. Click next. So data store, you select it. I think there is sufficient storage. Compatibility check succeeded. Okay, click next. So network, you select it. I mean, this is your second server network. Select it. Compatibility check succeeded. Click next. Okay, don't schedule. We are going to do immediate. Next, finish it. So now the mission will migrate from ESXi 1 to ESXi 2. Okay, so like this, I can migrate other 2 VMs also, and I can power off that ESXi. I can destroy that ESXi. So it is almost 33% completed, and it is going on. Okay, very important. Migration is very important. Suppose if you go to any real-time data center, right? So these migrations, they do very much. Okay, they do this one. Okay, so it will take little time. Okay, again, as I mentioned just before, based on the size of the VM, okay, that time will decide. Suppose if I have a lot of data in it, if I have so much of hard disk, very big configuration, it will take more time. So I remember I did one VM which has 4 2 terabyte hard disk and a lot of data. Okay, it took almost 1.5 days to migrate, 1.5 days. Okay, but when it is migrating, right, you can go and work it. See, it is migrating, but I can go here. I can do my work. See, nothing happened, right? So there is nothing disturbed. Okay, suppose if I am the admin, okay, if I am the admin, if I do this migration, suppose you are the user here, suppose Fayaz is there, Fayaz is the user, for example. Fayaz is using this VM, this server. So he is running some data. He's working on this. See, hi, this is something we are writing something. So it is happening at the same time. If you observe, it is moving from one ESXi to another ESXi. So that means, one second, guys. Sorry, some power problem. You're able to see the screen? Confirm? Anyone can confirm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, super. So I'm working actually. See, the data is going on. Okay. So here this migration is happening. Still the VM is there in server 1. So it will, I think, around at 75%, the server will move to 100.4. Okay. So everything is going on. So there is no downtime. Okay. If you migrate, even the user who is using, right, even they don't get to know, okay, that the server is migrated. They don't get to know. Okay. So migration is without downtime. So you no need to, bother like if I migrate, will it go down? No, nothing. Okay, 100% done. If you see, the machine is migrated from server 1 to server 2. This is there under server 2 now. Okay, if you see here, your task is going on. So everything is going on, all are up, everything is running. Simple, right? So this is the migration. Okay, suppose if somebody asks you to do the migration, right? So these are the requirement to do the okay, to do the migration. So requirements are ESXi servers should be added to the vCenter server. Point number 1. All the servers should be in the same network and the vMotion option should be enabled on the VM kernel port group. We have verified that. And VMware tools should be installed on the VM. So the VM, whatever we are migrating, right, we have to install VMware tools on that. And you know how to do that VMware tools installation. And finally, like the destination server, like we are moving from server 1 to server 2, you should have a proper resource. Suppose if you don't have a proper hard disk, if you don't have a proper compute resource, so then the vMotion will fail. So you should take care of these things. So that's why we call them as prerequisites for vMotion. Right? Any question here? Any question so far? So this is what we discussed in last 3 classes. Before I go to another topic, any question here? Now I have one VM in, okay, leaving this one VM in server 1, server 2, server 3. Everywhere I have Windows 2018 VM. Any question? Okay, now I'll go to a new topic.
Sir, you told that
yes,
what if we do any cloning, the IP address would be same for the cloning computer, sir. VMware.
Correct.
Then what about the using of this RAM and these all services would be used the previous one, sir? Previous one server.
No. See, the size you are talking.
What is the if you have a system for VMware 1, you're telling 100.2, no, sir?
Yes.
For that one, we have done cloning.
Correct. No, from here, we did cloning in server 2, for example.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So in this case, just observe. So I have a machine. It has a specific RAM. If I go right click, edit settings, you can see properly. See, this has 4 CPU, okay, and 4 GB RAM and 90 GB hard disk. Okay, whenever I cloned it, same virtual machine will get created in the server 2 with 4 CPU, 4 memory, and 90 GB hard disk. But this is actually from the server 2. This occupied in the server 2. The VM is getting created in the server 2. So this all resource the VM takes from server 2. So same amount of CPU, same amount of memory, everything will get same. If you want to change, once it is migrated, you come here, right click, edit settings, and you can go and change if you want any CPU, any RAM, any hard disk change. You can do that. But coming to host name and IP address, right? So this is not a conflict. Like if I have 4 CPU here, I can have 4 CPU here. So RAM, no problem. Hard disk, no problem. But when it comes to software level, so the IP, if I have, this has one IP. If I have same IP in other machine, right? These two will get IP conflict. So IP conflict should not be there, okay, in the one network. So IP should be unique. That's why you will log in and change the IP, and also you change the host name. This you have to do. So cloning means it's creating a new VM. Cloning means it is like the source VM will be same and it is creating another VM. Okay. So in that case, the second VM we are logging in and we are doing all this IP change and host name change. But coming to migration, here we are not doing any cloning. We are moving VM from server 1 to server 2. So when you migrated, when you move a server VM from server 1 to server 2, no need to change anything because the source VM is not there. Here, there is no concept like source VM and destination VM. So that VM itself is moving from server 1 to server 2. So no need to change anything. It is, if it is working, if it is running, it will run without any problem. Right? Did I clear your question, Surendra? Is that your question first of all?
Yes, sir. I thought of if we done any cloning itself, it will be using the same hardware from the previous one. I was thinking that.
No.
But it was using another different parts machine. That's what I believe.
Correct. It will migrate to next server, another server, and it will start. It create everything. It create there. It start using from server 2. Okay. So think like it is a new VM. That's it. But we are not going and creating VM, installing OS. We are not doing all that. That's it.
Sir, okay, sir. Then what about this? Then we can do only cloning, no, sir, because it will be a mirror image for the same mission of the another computer. Then why for migration?
In this case, no. Here, see, this is running like I'm going to destroy this ESXi server. For example, I'm going to destroy this. Suppose if I do cloning, what I have to do? I have to open this. I have to change the IP. So if there is a downtime, then I have to give this new IP to them. So then I go here, I power off it, I delete it, and then I destroy it. So there is a downtime. So in this migration case, it's very simple, right? Simple. I move it to a second server, then I'll power off this and I'll destroy it. So whoever is using, okay, the user, he don't know whether it is migrated or anything. He don't know anything. He is using here. There is no downtime for this. Okay, maybe in some cases, maybe what you said is correct. Like suppose if they are not much important servers, maybe in that case I can go with cloning also. But cloning is very much suitable. Suppose the destination, the source has to be there. It has to create more destination servers. So it is very much suitable for that. But when it comes to migration, yes, you can do cloning and same mission will come. So here, suppose just think, I'm copying some data to this machine, some 100 GB data I'm copying. So it is there in somewhere in between, some 50 GB copied, another 50 GB yet to copy. It will take 1 day time. So at that time, if I take the cloning, if I do the cloning, so it will take till that 50 GB. The another 50 GB will not come to the cloned VM, right? So this is a problem again. Okay, so in some cases we can do that cloning, but migration, we will get exact mission, we will move to second server without any downtime, without any data loss, without anything. So
Okay.
even user also, he will not get to know that the machine is migrated. Right?
Right, sir.
Yes. So any more question? Anything? Clarify the questions. Very, very, very important. I'm telling you, especially for interview purpose, they ask you many questions here around this. What is snapshot? What is vMotion? What are the prerequisites for vMotion? What is the difference between cloning and vMotion? Same. I given the answer, right? Same question. Okay. So let's go. So if what we did, right? So we created a vCenter. We created a vCenter and we launched that vCenter. So when I launch it, it opened with the IP of vCenter 172.17.100.253. This is our vCenter IP. Okay. Now in this, I created a data center test. Okay. This is data center. Okay. Under the data center, I added server 1. Okay. Maybe I'll write IP directly. Our server 1 IP is 172.17.100.2. And under this, we have VM1, VM2, like this. And the second server is here, 172.17.100.4. So here I'll create one more VM. So, I mean, created actually 100.6. We have one VM here, and I think one template here or first VM. Anyway, just think there is a template. Okay, and one more I added 172.17.100.8. So here I have VM1, VM, I think only one VM. So this is the layout, right? If you see here, so close this, I'm done with this. So exactly right. This is your vCenter. In that, if you minimize, everything gone, and this is my data center. And here I have, okay, VM1, ESXi1. In that I have two VMs, ESXi2, I have one VM, ESXi3, I have one VM, ESXi4, I have one VM. Okay. So other things like if you go to virtual machines, it listing only virtual machines and templates. Here you see the tabs, only virtual machines and templates. If you go to the third one, the storage, data stores of all the VMs, all the ESXi servers. We have 4 ESXi server and we have 4 data stores. Okay. And the last one is networking. I'll come to this little later. Okay. We have a separate class for networking. It will confuse you. First understand all the things, then we will discuss about networking in the last. Okay. So this is how we are seeing when this is a data center. So there is an option called cluster. We can create the cluster. So first you understand what is cluster. So then I'll show you how it works. Okay, the general meaning of cluster is the general meaning of clusters. Okay. So they usually maintain 2. Like I have, just we will see Windows in the real time, right? So I have server 1, physical server. In this, I have Windows. Okay. In this, I have some important applications and I'm maintaining data. Okay. So from this, for any reason, okay, for any reason, if this mission gone bad, okay, for any reason, the processor bad or hard disk gone bad, RAID controller gone bad. So whatever reason, this server is down. So then there is a downtime until we make that server up, and there is a business loss because there is a downtime. And if you lose any hard disk, we may lose the data. If you lose any processor, any hardware, we have to buy that, and at the same time we need to spend some money. Okay, so but overall, if you see there is a downtime. Okay, just very simple, like if it is a bank application, all of a sudden they say like my server is down, it will take 3 days time. I am giving holiday for bank for 3 days. It's not good, right? So for that reason, they maintain one backup server. So we know this, okay, one backup server. Okay, so that is they take server 2, and they create as a cluster. These two together, they create as a cluster. So you know what will happen? Whatever you perform in server 1, everything will come here to server 2. Okay, everything will come here to server 2. For any reason, if server 1 gone faulty, or for any reason the server 1 is failed, okay, without letting know that, okay, even that administrator or user, nobody get to know that the server 1 is down, because the server 2 act like that server 1. Okay, this is actually a cluster concept. Okay, you can do it in Windows, you can do it in Linux, and ESXi is little different. I'll come to that. First, you understand what is cluster. Okay, cluster means we group of servers, we keep group of servers, and we sorry, we keep group of servers, and if any server failed in that group, and we make the one domain, we call it as a single domain. For any reason, if one server failed, so the other server start acting like a the failed server. So there is no downtime, so you don't lose the data. So business wise, there is no impact, nothing, no impact, nothing. So everything go very smooth. Everything go very smooth. So this is the concept of cluster. But coming to ESXi, I'm really not bothered about coming to ESXi. I'm really, so here we have two things. So if you take Windows, right, we have a Windows server, we have a we have a Windows server, we have a Linux server on physical machine. So this is physical server. Okay, for any reason, if this Windows gone, so definitely we lost everything. Okay, the physical server, this is the physical server, the Windows has to run very properly. Coming to Linux, we install directly on the physical server. For any reason, if this Linux gone, okay, so this is kind of a failure for us. But coming to ESXi, I have a physical server. On physical server, we install ESXi, okay, and on ESXi, we create VM1, VM2, VM3 like that. Okay, so this is the concept, right? Our ESXi concept is this. So for some reason, for example, for some reason, if this ESXi gone bad, I am telling you, yes, when the ESXi gone bad, we are kind of worried because the VMs are gone. Okay, but if you ask me in other way, if the ESXi gone bad, do you really bother about that? If you ask me, I am not at all bothered about if ESXi gone bad. My only worry is VMs. If anything happens to VM, I will get bothered about that. Okay, so in this case, my ESXi gone bad, but my VMs are safe. For example, you may ask, if ESXi gone bad, how VMs are safe? Okay, but for example, if my ESXi gone bad, but VMs are safe, then really I don't bother about the ESXi failure. Okay, so this is how actual the ESXi concept. So what I'm trying to tell you here, the VMs are very important here in ESXi. Okay, suppose if I have 3 VMs, if I migrate, okay, all 3 VMs to, for example, second ESXi 2 server, and then if I go and delete, uninstall, or whatever happens to this server 1, I don't bother about that. I'm not at all bothered about that. Understanding, right? So here the major concentration is VMs. Okay, so in the cluster, right, we have two concepts. Okay, in the cluster we have two concepts. So it's very interesting. One is high availability, HA. Second is DRS, distribute resource scheduler. Okay, high availability. First understand the concept, then so I can't show you this practical, but I'll show you how to enable HA and DRS, but I can't show you, I can't fail the ESXi. Okay, I don't have that commands with me. I'll try to get that commands. Okay, distribute resource scheduler. Okay, these are the abbreviation full forms for this. What is HA? Understand this well. Okay, so I have vCenter. Maybe I'll write our IPs only 172.17.100.253. This is our vCenter. Under this, I will create a data center test. Under this, I will create a cluster concept. So I'll say cluster 1. Under this, I will add our ESXi servers 172.17.100.2, 172.17.100.4. For better understanding, we will take 2 now, and then we will, okay, we will assume for 4. So I have added 2. So the 100.2, how many VMs are there? We have VM1, VM2, I think 2 VMs. Okay. And 100.4 second server, we have VM1. How come? If you see here, if you observe here, under ESXi, I have VM1 and VM2. And under server 2, I have VM1. Okay. So VM1, VM2, VM1. But here, first ESXis are getting listed, and then all the VMs are getting listed. Yes. When you add, so here you added the ESXi servers to the data center, but here you added ESXi server to the cluster which is there under data center. Okay, we created one more. Okay, just to remember this. Okay, I'll show you this. Okay, we'll create cluster and we will add all our host. Okay, so now, so I have ESXi1, this is ESXi1 and this is ESXi2. So VM1, VM2 are server 1 VMs. This VM1 is server 2 VM. And in this cluster, I enabled HA. We have to enable while creating the cluster. I'll show you that. So what it does? So when I enable HA, you know what will happen? The servers which are added under the cluster, they will keep on send one signal. Okay, one signal. We call it as heartbeat signal. Yes, you are listening correct. The signal name is heartbeat signal. Heartbeat signal. So for every 8 seconds, server 1 send a heartbeat signal to server 2, and same way server 2 send heartbeat signal to server 1. That means they are telling to each other, I am okay, I am alive, I am proper. Right? They are telling to each other. So they are fine, no problem. But for any reason, if one ESXi go down, for any reason, if any one ESXi go down, okay, for some reason, this server 1 is gone down. You know what? So immediately the server 2 pull the VMs, whatever is there, VM1 and VM2 from this, right? It will pull the VMs and it will take and copy to server 2. That means it will automatic migration will happen. The migration will happen from server 1 to server 2. But how the server 2 get to know that this server is down? Because of this heartbeat signal. So when there is no heartbeat signal, so the VMs are getting migrating. So immediately from server 1 to server 2. But here the thing is the VMs will get power off and they will move to server 2. So whenever the admin or whenever we go and see that servers, we have to power on manually that virtual machines. Okay. So here I have ESXi1, I have ESXi2. So here I have 2 VMs, VM1 and VM2. So here I have 1 VM. Okay, both are added to vCenter, right? Both are added to vCenter. So for some reason, this is gone. So this is VM1, this is VM2, this is VM1. Okay. So as I mentioned, there is a heartbeat signal between this. So when the server is gone bad, right, these VMs will go and move to this VSXA server. Okay, VM1 and VM2. Okay, don't worry about these names and all. Obviously, just for sake of understanding, I given this, but obviously we give the different names for all the VMs when they are in one vCenter. Okay, so now all the VMs are running from second server. So that means our VMs are safe. Okay, our VMs are super safe, right? So this is high availability, HA. HA. Okay, high availability. So here the thing is, you have to enable that high availability in the cluster. All the ESXi servers, whatever you are planning, you have to add to one cluster. Okay, so in our case, right, what happens? Suppose I have cluster. For example, I have server 1. So total 4 are there, right? Server 2, server 3, server 4, right? So in our case, the heartbeat signal will go from every server to every server. Every server to every server. Okay. So here I have two VMs, right? VM1 and VM2. And here I have VM1. And here I have VM1. And here I have VM1. So now this is failed. Where these VMs will move. Okay. So don't worry about that. The VM may go to any of this. Okay. Any of these three. So that time it consider kind of, which server identified the failure first. Okay. That heartbeat signal sent by which server. So suppose at the time of failure, the server 2 sent the heartbeat signal to server 1, for example. That time, if it is not taking any heartbeat signal, so this will initiate and this will pull this VMs to server 2. Suppose this don't have a sufficient resource, right? So it will initiate one VM here, maybe VM1 here, and VM2 will go to some other server. Yes, this happens actually. Okay, so if you have two servers, that two servers are in coordination. If you have 4, if you have 100, if you have 200, all 200 server keep on discussing, keep on sending heartbeat signal. So they look at all the VMs, they look at all the ESXi servers. If any failure, it will take all the VMs and copy to different ESXi servers in the cluster. Any question? Any confusion? You want me to repeat anything here? Understanding, first of all? Am I going fast? Okay, as usual, no answer. Okay, let's see. So I'll go one more interesting concept, DRS. So this is very much interesting actually than HA. So DRS, in HA, what happened? So when the server 1 is failed, okay, when the server 1 is failed, then our VMs are moved from that server 1 to server other servers, right? Then the servers are moved. But DRS is distribute resource scheduler, distribute resource. It is there in the resource. What is that? Distribute compute resource. Okay, scheduler. Okay, see now, for example, I have server 1. So I have VM1, VM2. Okay, so just for understanding, I will write some configuration here. I'll write some configuration. I have some 10 CPU, for example, just for example, okay, 10 CPU and some 32 GB RAM, okay, some 500 GB hard disk, 500 GB hard disk, okay, and I given 10 CPU, sorry, 5 CPU to this, 16 GB RAM and 250 GB hard disk, 5 CPU, 16 GB and 250 GB, something like that. We provide like this, right? So same way, I have server 2. I have server 2. Same way, I have server 3 and server 4. So all 4 servers are under one cluster. So cluster means it's very simple. We are making all 4 servers friends actually. Okay, in a general words, if I talk, right? Yes, now the 4 servers are close friends, thick friends actually. Okay, they can do anything for themselves. Like that, they are friends now. Okay, now for any reason, okay, you created some virtual machines and you started so much of data, you started so much of IO, you are using that VMs like anything. Okay, suppose the DRS is enabled. When the VMs are running, if the DRS is enabled and the VMs are running with a very heavy load, at that time, they found the resource is not sufficient. Resource means maybe the CPU is not sufficient. Any one resource is enough for that. Any CPU is not sufficient or RAM is not sufficient. Anything is not sufficient. Then without telling, automatic the VM will migrate to another available ESXi server, okay, where the sufficient resources are available. Okay, because we are giving permission to the VMs. You are enabling DRS. If you enable DRS, so then the VMs look for the resource. When there is no sufficient resource, the VMs will migrate from that source server to any available ESXi server where the sufficient resources are available. Clear, right? It's a simple, very simple. So simple. When there is no proper resource, right? The VM will move from that server to another available server. That's it. Very simple. Very, very simple. It's automatic without telling that. You know, I'll tell you one thing here. Sorry. Okay. This is one of the real scenario I'll talk. So I have some 50 servers actually. Okay. Server 1, server 2. So almost I have 50 servers. Server 50. So under server 1, I have 10 VMs. Under server 2, I have 10 VMs. Like that, everywhere I have 10 VMs. Almost 500 VMs are there. You know, I enabled DRS and I started using them. Okay, I started using them. One big problem is once you add under the cluster, right? Once you add under the cluster, you don't get to know, okay, which VM is running from where. Because as I mentioned here, first all ESXi servers will list and then all the VMs will get list. Okay, you're understanding, right? All the ESXi servers and then all the VMs will get list. So after some, you are using this 50 servers, you are using very much. All servers has 10 VMs, you are using them very much. So in this case, what will happen, you know, by the time after 6 months, after 1 year, right, the VM started migrating from one mission to other mission. So if you properly verify after a year or 2 years, right, the VMs, when you created, it may be under server 1, now it may be under server 50, server 25, one VM may be under server 25. Like that, they migrate, they keep on migrate across the VMs, across the ESXi servers. Whenever, actually, I have seen this real time, the server 1 servers are there, okay? Some 2 servers are there in server 1, remaining 8 are there in under different servers. This is same thing for all ESXi. So when I go and check server 23, I have one VM from server 1, one VM from server 4, one VM from server 50, like that. You know what? When there is a heavy load in server 1, right, it will send one VM to server 20. Okay. And then server 20 is little relaxed that time. When you started the heavy load in server 20, right, then the VMs will move from that server 20 to server 1 or somewhere it will go. So like that, they keep on traveling actually. I can say they are always in journey. Okay, they will migrate from one server to other server. Okay, this is DRS. So very simple, you don't need to talk so much here. So this is a simple migration. You know what is migration now? Migration is migrating a virtual machine from one ESXi server to another ESXi server, that is without any doubt. This is the direct answer for vMotion. So this happens. One thing, you did it manually in the migration. You right click, you selected change host resource, and you did it. This is one type of migration. And second migration is high availability. When there is a failure in the ESXi, the VMs will migrate to the failed ESXi server to the other available ESXi server in the same vCenter. This is the second type of migration. And the third one is cluster. So what is, DRS. So here the VMs will migrate, but when there is no sufficient resource available. So then the DRS will happen. Okay. So because of, I can't make it this kind of situation. That's why I cannot show you practically like migration, like cloning and template. But what we'll do, we will go now, we will create one cluster. We will add the ESXi servers. And while creating cluster, we will enable HA and DRS, and we will see what options are there. We'll go. So let me open that. Okay, where is my ESXi? What happened? It is down. 172.17.100.253. I'm opening my ESXi. Okay, this is, I'll do one thing just for, we can add the systems again. So now you see if when they are under data center, I'll do one thing, I'll take one screenshot. So when, okay, this is, I'll save it as desktop data center. This is data center. Okay, now we will see after cluster how it is behaved. Okay, so we'll do one thing, we will delete the host from data center. Okay, actually we can do it drag drop also, but we'll see that how to delete. So how to delete a ESXi server from vCenter and data center. Okay, just go here, remove from inventory. Okay, you are seeing, right? Remove from inventory. So there is, you don't see any delete or anything. Okay, just click on this. So give yes. Yes, deleted. Again, second one, remove from inventory. So you are not deleting any ESXi, right? The ESXi is there, but you are not, which is added in the vCenter, right? From there you are deleting. Okay, right click. Remove from inventory. I deleted. I'll delete this data center also. Delete it. Okay, now this is my vCenter. Okay, so right click. So you can't create cluster directly. First, you have to create data center. Data center. Okay, I'll create proper name test only, which we are doing for many days. Okay, test. I created a data center. I right click, I can go add host. Okay, what we did it just before, right? That is the one. But now I'm not going to do that. I will create the cluster first before adding the host. Okay, first I'll create the cluster under a data center, and then I will add ESXi servers to the cluster. So you are seeing here, right? New cluster. If you see the logo, there are multiple servers. Okay, group of servers like that. You are seeing the logo also. Okay, just create new cluster. See, straight away there are three options are there. So vSAN, actually I did not work on this vSAN, but I'll try to cover this time. Okay, I know some theoretically, I'll try to talk. But understand these two. Okay, DRS and HA. If you enable DRS, so we are enabling DRS in the cluster what we are creating. Maybe I'll say cluster name class. Okay, I'll give class. Okay, location is under data center. I'm enabling DRS. I'm enabling HA. vSphere DRS, vSphere HA. Okay. If you want to enable only HA, yes, you can do it. If you want to enable only DRS, yes, you can do it. If you want to enable both HA and DRS, yes, you can do it. Okay. So for now, we will enable both HA and DRS because we learned both the concepts. Okay. Now HA and DRS, click OK. That's it. Very, very simple, right? HA and DRS are created. So cluster is created. Okay. Under data center, I have a cluster. So in this cluster, I have services, DRS and HA both are available. If I add the host now, so then the heartbeat signal will start between them, and the DRS, if any problem is there, any resource problem is there, the VMs will migrate from one ESXi server to another ESXi server. Okay. So go here, right click. Now you do the add host. Okay. We know IP address 172.17.100.2. Username we know root. Password capital A admin @123. Okay. Looks like it is taking multiple servers at once. Okay. Let's see. I didn't see this before in the previous versions. Looks like they have added this. Okay, all servers we can add at once. Capital A admin @123. Okay, 172.17.100.6. Okay, root admin. So I think I given wrong. Admin @123. Okay, 4 missions I'll give 172.17.100.8. Okay, root capital A admin @123. Okay, 4 hosts are there. Yeah, actually there is use same credentials for all hosts. I would have select this because we have same username and password. Good option. Even I'm seeing this first time. Click next. So the 2 hosts have warning. Maybe the data storage full something. That's okay. Warnings, no need to bother. And ESXi version is very proper and everything is proper. Okay. Click next. So host will enter maintenance mode before they are moved to the cluster. You might need to either power off or migrate powered on and suspended virtual machines. That's okay. Click finish. So now they are disconnected. If you see here, they are adding. Okay, 0%, 0%. So everything will get added. I think one is failed already. Okay, they are getting added. Let them add. So actually they are adding. Okay, and configuring vSphere HA, you are seeing, right? So we enabled HA. Now the HA is okay configuring there. 100.2. So I was telling, right, all VMs listed once. See, you can see all the VMs are here. Okay, all the VMs are here. So the HA is getting enabled. The HA is getting configured between the servers. We have added this, right? How come it is added outside the 100.4? We have added there, right? How come they added here? All required hosts are in maintenance mode. Time is synchronized across host and VC, no problem. So configuring HA is happening in all servers. So just hold on. Okay, the HA will complete. So simple. What the change to previous to now? Previous, we added all our server under data center. Now I created one more cluster actually under data center. Under that, I added all 4 servers. Okay. Now it is in maintenance mode. Right click. So it was telling, right, exit maintenance mode. When it is maintenance mode, you cannot work. Okay. Right click, maintenance mode, exit maintenance mode. You can make a note of that. Okay. So it was telling when there is a problem, it will get down from maintenance mode. Okay. It is still exiting from maintenance mode. Just hold on. And there are warning messages everywhere. Okay. Maybe some HA related, maybe some permissions are not there, something like that. But no need to worry about warnings. So this is how we have enabled HA and DRS. Now these 4 servers are friends. Okay. If any problems comes, suppose if I go, the server 1 is gone bad, then the VMs under server 1 will migrate, okay, from server 1 to available 3 servers are there, right? It will go to any of them. They'll go to any of them. Okay. There is some, all required hosts are in maintenance mode. What is this? Not configured host 4. Added host. Let's see what is the error. So the host currently has no management network redundancy. So it is telling only one network is there, like that. There are some issues are there, but okay. So the number of vSphere HA heartbeat data stores for host is 0, which is less than required 2. So it is telling some less hardware is there, but it's okay. Understand the concept. Anyway, we will not do it, right? So now, so if any problem here in the server 2, so that VMs will migrate to server 3, server 4, server 5. It migrate to anywhere. Okay. So now this is my cluster. This is my server 1, server 2, server 3, server 4. And if I compare it, okay, for example, see this. So test, under that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So here everything is properly separated. ESXi, 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 ESXi. They behave like they all are separated. Okay, like they have their own house, separate house. But now if you see here, I created under test, I created a cluster, but all together it become a joint family. All 4 are at one house and all kids are there. So we don't know, right? If you go to joint family, which kid is which kid father, which kid mother, which kid parents, we don't know anything. Similar way, so this is what happening here. Here we get to know, okay, this is the ESXi, these are the VMs. But here to know that, you have to click on the ESXi, you have to click on the VMs, then you will get to know what is there under that. You have to click on second server, then you will get to know what is there. If you go to here, you will get to know. But you will get to know. I'm not telling you will not get to know, but by seeing this, you see like all servers are added, and these are the VMs of these 4 servers. Now, for any reason, if this is go down, the VMs will migrate to other ESXi. So if I do reboot, will it migrate? No. The reboot is not a ESXi failure. Reboot means we are intentionally doing that. If I go and do it, the server knows, server has that knowledge, that intelligence. So what it will do, so it will say like the server is rebooted by admin. So you need not to bother. So VMs will be safe. After some time, it will come up. After some time, it will come up. The VMs will come up. So server has that intelligence. Okay. So if you reboot or if you do any small failure operations, it won't work. There are different types of panics. So no need to discuss everything. So if any that kind of panics, really the server went down. Suppose my processor is gone bad. Okay, because of that, the server is going down. So in that case, the missions will migrate. You're understanding, right? So this is HA and DRS cluster, HA and DRS. I'll talk more about them tomorrow. So any questions so far? It's very important. HA, DRS. Okay, so I'll do one thing. I'll stop here. So we have seen what is HA, what is DRS, how to enable HA, how to enable DRS, and how to create the cluster, how to how to add the servers to the cluster. So when the servers are added under cluster, how it looks like. When the servers are added under data center, how it is looks like. Okay, just have that difference. Okay, when you are seeing this video, just please make sure to write the differences between ESXi under data center, ESXi under cluster. Okay, maybe you can take a small picture and you can draw that picture in your book, right? So understand. Okay, with this, I have a networking concept pending in the VMware. So if I'm done that networking, the ESXi classes will be done. I have some 1 or 2 small topics are there. Maybe next coming 2-3 days, we will complete this VMware ESXi. Then we will getting into SAN, storage area networking, FC SAN. Okay, that is the next topic. So with that, the OS classes will be done. Windows, Linux already done. VMware we are almost done. And we'll go to FC SAN, right? FC SAN are testing. Okay, we'll see what to do. Mostly I'll go with the FC SAN. So any questions here? I'm telling you, VM creation, ESXi installation, VM creation, VMware files, VMware VM operations, snapshot, cloning, template, cluster, HA, DRS. They are very much important. I have few more things, like yesterday I was telling, right, enhanced vMotion, and there is a concept called vSAN. I was showing, right, vSAN, and thin provisioning and thick provisioning. Like that, there are small topics are there. I will cover all these topics in the next coming 2-3 days classes. But the major topic pending is networking. So it will confuse you a lot. Okay, be ready for that. So I'll confuse you, but it will clear at one point. Okay, so we will have it mostly tomorrow. Not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have some this cluster related topics. We'll see them tomorrow. Okay, so that's all I have. So as there is no questions, okay, see you all tomorrow. Thank you guys. Good night. Bye.